Picture this: southern Italy, the year 216 BC. Two colossal armies face each other under the blistering August sun. On one side, the mighty Roman Republic, the undisputed superpower of the Mediterranean, fielding the largest army it has ever assembled. On the other, a charismatic Carthaginian general named Hannibal Barca, an invader far from home, outnumbered and seemingly cornered. What happens next isn't just a battle. It's a masterclass in military genius that will be studied for millennia. This is the story of the Battle of Cannae, Hannibal's masterpiece and Rome's darkest day. To truly understand the sheer audacity of Cannae, we need to rewind a bit. The year is 218 BC. The Second Punic War between Rome and Carthage has just erupted. Everyone expects the war to be fought at sea or in Spain. But Hannibal does the unthinkable. He gathers his army, a diverse force of Carthaginians, Spanish infantry, Numidian cavalry, and, yes, his famous war elephants, and marches them from Spain, across the Pyrenees, through Gaul, and over the treacherous, snow-capped Alps. The journey is brutal. Thousands of men and nearly all the elephants are lost to the harsh conditions and ambushes from local tribes. When Hannibal finally descends into Italy, his army is a shadow of its former self, exhausted and depleted. The Romans, initially caught off guard, are confident. They see Hannibal not as a strategic threat, but as a reckless gambler whose luck is about to run out. They are wrong. Dead wrong. In his first two major encounters on Italian soil, at the Trebia River and Lake Trasimene, Hannibal hands the Romans stunning defeats. He uses clever ambushes, superior cavalry tactics, and an uncanny ability to read his opponents. The Roman psyche is shaken. In response, they appoint a dictator, Quintus Fabius Maximus, who wisely adopts a strategy of avoidance. Known as the Fabian strategy, he shadows Hannibal's army, harassing his supply lines but refusing to engage in a pitched battle. He knows Hannibal's army can't live off the land forever. Fabius earns the nickname Cunctator, the delayer. While effective, this strategy is deeply unpopular in Rome. The proud Romans see it as cowardly. They crave a decisive, glorious victory to crush the invader once and for all. By 216 BC, Roman patience has worn thin. They elect two new consuls, Gaius Terentius Varro and Lucius Aemilius Paulus. Varro is aggressive and eager for a fight, reflecting the public mood. Paulus is more cautious, wary of Hannibal's cunning. Roman law dictated they command the army on alternating days, a recipe for disaster. They raise an unprecedented force, 8 legions, plus allied troops, totaling somewhere between 80,000 and 86,000 men. They march south, determined to find Hannibal and annihilate him. They find him near the small town of Cannae, on a wide open plain near the Aufidus River. The terrain is perfect for cavalry, which should have been a warning sign, as Hannibal's Numidian and Spanish horsemen are legendary. But Varro, commanding on the day of the battle, sees only one thing: the opportunity to use his overwhelming numerical advantage in infantry to smash through the Carthaginian center. On the morning of August 2nd, the Roman legions form up for battle. Their formation is a testament to their strategy. Deep and narrow, designed to be a human battering ram. They pack their maniples, their tactical units, closer together than ever before, creating immense density and forward pressure. And this is where his genius truly shines. Hannibal arranges his line in a completely unconventional way. In the center, he places his weakest troops, his Spanish and Gallic infantry. And he doesn't just line them up, he pushes them forward in a shallow crescent, a convex arc bulging towards the Roman line. This is an invitation. It looks weak, almost like it's about to break. On the flanks, hidden from the main Roman view, he places his elite, battle-hardened African infantry, organized in deep columns. And on the extreme wings, he positions his superior cavalry, commanded by his brother Mago and the brilliant Hasdrubal. The battle begins, the trumpets blare, and the massive Roman legionary force begins its slow, inexorable advance. As they march, the sun is in their eyes, and the wind blows dust and grit into their faces. A small but significant detail Hannibal had accounted for by choosing his position carefully. The Roman infantry crashes into Hannibal's weak center. As expected, the Gauls and Spaniards begin to give way. The crescent formation slowly inverts, bending inwards under the immense Roman pressure. Varro must have thought victory was at hand. His legions are pushing forward. The enemy center is collapsing, just as he planned. But it's not a collapse. It's a calculated, controlled withdrawal. The crescent is becoming a U-shape, a pocket. The Roman legions, driven by the sheer mass of men behind them, press deeper and deeper into the trap, their flanks becoming increasingly exposed. They are so focused on the crumbling center that they don't see what's happening on the wings. While the infantry drama unfolds, Hannibal's cavalry has already won the day. On the left flank, Hasdrubal's heavy Spanish and Gallic horsemen smash into the much weaker Roman cavalry and utterly destroy them. Instead of pursuing the fleeing survivors, Hasdrubal demonstrates incredible discipline. He rallies his men, gallops them around the entire rear of the Roman army, and crashes into the back of the Roman allied cavalry on the other wing, who were already engaged with Hannibal's light Numidian horsemen. Attacked from both front and rear, the second Roman cavalry wing disintegrates. The Roman army is now completely blind, with no cavalry support. Now, the trap springs shut. With the Roman legions packed shoulder to shoulder inside the Carthaginian pocket, their front lines being drawn ever deeper, Hasdrubal's victorious cavalry completes its circuit and charges into the rear of the Roman infantry. At the same exact moment, Hannibal gives the signal. His elite African infantry, who had been held in reserve on the flanks, turn inward and attack the exposed sides of the Roman legions. The result is pure, unadulterated slaughter. The Romans, once a formidable fighting force, are now just a panicked mob, trapped on all four sides. They are packed so tightly they can barely lift their arms to swing their swords or even use their shields. There is no front, no rear, only death from every direction. The outer ranks are cut down by the Africans and the cavalry, while the men in the middle are literally crushed to death by the pressure of the crowd. The consul Paulus, who had fought bravely, is killed. Varro, the architect of the disaster, manages to escape with a handful of horsemen. For hours, the killing continues until the sun begins to set on a field of unimaginable carnage. Roman discipline, their greatest strength, had become their fatal flaw, leading them ever deeper into the perfectly laid trap. By the end of the day, the numbers are staggering. Historians estimate that between 50,000 and 70,000 Roman soldiers were killed, with thousands more captured. Hannibal lost only around 6,000 men, mostly the Gauls who had bravely formed the bait in the center. It was a complete and total annihilation, one of the most lopsided victories in all of military history. The shockwave sent through Rome was immense. They had lost a fifth of their entire adult male population in a single afternoon. The city was gripped by panic and grief. In the aftermath, Hannibal's general, Hannibal, famously urged him to march on Rome itself, saying, "You know how to win a victory, Hannibal. You do not know how to use one." Hannibal hesitated. His army was exhausted, and he lacked the siege equipment to take a fortified city like Rome. This decision is still debated by historians today. Was it a missed opportunity that cost him the war? Perhaps. Because despite the catastrophe at Cannae, Rome did not surrender. They refused to negotiate. They lowered the draft age, enlisted slaves, and rebuilt their armies. In the long run, Rome's vast resources and indomitable will outlasted Hannibal's strategic brilliance. He would remain in Italy for over a decade, a constant threat, but he would never again come so close to breaking the Republic. The Battle of Cannae remains Hannibal's crowning achievement. It is the textbook example of a double envelopment, a pincer movement, a perfect battle that military commanders from Scipio Africanus to Napoleon to Norman Schwarzkopf have studied and admired. It's a timeless story of how a brilliant mind with an outnumbered and outmatched army can use strategy, discipline, and a deep understanding of psychology to achieve a victory for the ages. It's a stark reminder that in any conflict, the most powerful weapon is not the sword, but the mind that wields it. Thanks so much for watching. If you enjoyed this journey back in time, please hit that like button and be sure to subscribe and turn on notifications so you do not miss our next deep dive into history. Let us know in the comments what other epic battles you'd like to see us cover. See you next time.